Hello and thank you for joining me on my colouring quest. So today is that time of the month again where I show you all my completed colouring pages, and this is for the month of January 2024. Don't know where January has flown by seriously, it only seems like 2 minutes since it was the beginning of January and now it's start of February. What is going on? So I have here a small stack of books, but in some books I have coloured like 3 pages because I was in quite a sort of simple mood. Like I'd done a couple of detailed pages and then I just wanted to do simple. So I just did what I wanted to. And so I'm going to start off with this Spook Sketchbook by Carla Magana. And yeah, this is a book that I want to complete, hopefully this year. And yeah, I'm hoping to sort of have it done by June. I do have I think it's about 18 pages or something like that left. But this month I think I coloured, I think it was 5. I'll have to count them off as I go or something. So let's find the first one. I have got quite a few done in here now, which this is the most I've got in a completed book sort of situation. Right here, and this one, oh my gosh, I thought this was going to destroy the whole book at one point, because this blue background is a watercolour and oh my gosh, it would not dry. I don't even know, I think it's because this is Amazon paper and the weather is cold, but I dried it with a hairdryer and then the next day I left it open and the next day it was wet again. And I was so confused. It is fully dry now because I re-dried it with the hairdryer. Maybe I didn't. On the second way round, I did dry the back and the front. So maybe I hadn't dried it all the way through the paper. But oh my gosh, I thought it was never gonna dry. But yeah, I did go out of the border on purpose. And I have, which you may or may not be able to see, done white squiggly lines as well. On her eyes is the stickles in the sunburst colour. I have used Posca pen where you see anything white basically. And the rest is alcohol markers. But because the first time I dried the page it wasn't quite dry enough, I went to use my pencil shading and I was like, this isn't working. Obviously it was because it wasn't fully dry yet. But yeah, I just left it with minimal shading with pencils, which were the Castle Art Gold pencils. But yeah, I like her, but yeah, I'm never using watercolour in this book again. I'm sorry. I think I'll stick to my marker base. So the next one is this next page, which, yeah, I thought I was going to hate this one, but I actually like it because I was worried when I picked this colour hair and I thought, is that going to go too much into the background? Because I liked the way I did the background, but in the end it was okay. And I love her facial expression. It's like she's sort of a bit sleepy, if that makes sense. That's how I see it anyway. She's just strolling through the day without a care, a bit tired, and yeah, just there basically. And on the background these squiggles are stickles. What colour? I can't remember what the colour's called and it's not near me, but I'm sure it's like a champagne goldish type colour. But yeah, and I have used markers in the background, marker base on her, and Yeah, the reason I coloured so much in this book was because I took it to my brother's when I looked after his cats, and I wanted to take something simple because when I'm there I do mostly simple stuff, but yeah, and I don't want to take like a million books with me, although I did take like 3, but I mostly coloured in this one because I'd done the marker base at home, so I wouldn't have to take my markers with me because that would be like a whole new suitcase, wouldn't it? And I always overpack anyway, so didn't need extra. And yeah, so marker bases were already done, so I just took my pencils with me. And then the next one, can't remember whereabouts in the book the next one is. Ah, this one. This one I love. I didn't add a background. Again, it's the alcohol marker base and Castle Art gold pencils, and then I have used stickles all through her hair, and that is the green, oh my gosh, is it called lime green or something along that lines? I really should have had my stickles near me. And then, yeah, so stickles all through her hair over the lines that were already there, except for some I left. And then I also put some here on her there, and used white Posca for the eyelashes sort of area. And I like how her lips turned out. I tried to make this sort of a green based page, although her hair ended up being blonde. It did have like a light green base, but once I went I used a sort of green gold sort of colour as the shadow, but then I used white, didn't I? And obviously white is going to lighten that marker base up, and it actually turned into a nice blonde colour, so I'm happy with that. And I think you still get the gist that it is a green page. And then next is this one. This was like the first one I did in here in January, and like I am so pleased with this one. I don't know why, I just love it. I always love candy floss hair, but like I would never have that hair, but I love colouring it, and it's like floofy. Gotta love the floofy. And then in the background I drew some circles. Oh my gosh, it's because I was thinking of circles and stickles, which is what I went over the parts that aren't the circles. So that is like marker pen base basically here. Oh, stickles sunburst, Posca pens, Castle Arts pencils, not the gold ones on this one, just the normal Castle Arts, and then Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. I'm trying to use all my alcohol markers up that I have currently, so that is my Spectrum Noir and my Shuttle Art, because I want to buy a set of the Winsor & Newton Pro markers, but I'm like, if I get them now, I'm never going to use the ones that I already have, so I want them to be gone. So yeah, doing a lot of alcohol marker bases at the moment, but in Amazon paper books I tend to do that anyway. Did I do another one? Ah yes, I like this one. I really like this one. This is probably a combination of like some of my favourite colours within this page. I love the background, I love the purple, and yeah, I just like how it turned out. Again, Castle Art gold pencils on top of an alcohol marker base, Posca pen, just a white Posca pen on this page, and yeah, I really like it. It looks quite simple, but it's like really effective in my opinion. Yeah, I do like that page. And I am picking randomly which pages I am colouring from this book. And next I have a sticky note in here somewhere with, next it's going to be this page, and I've randomly picked number 23, 34 and 27, and this is 34. I did number the pages from the start of the illustrations. So like this page is number 1. I'm not counting the like these pages. I may end up coming in and like adding a bit of colour to some bits, but for me this is page 1, and then we go up to page 43. So yes, that does have a little bit of yellowing, but that's easily coverable. It was just from when I did the alcohol marker base on that. I do love the illustrations in this. Oh, here I did have a alcohol marker base like blunder. I forgot to put the paper behind, but I'd only started the background and I was like, oh my god, I'm glad I realised, because I remember when I did that last time and it took forever to fix. But with that I can probably, I don't know what I'll do with that yet, but it looks easily coverable to me. May just add like a border around her and fill in with like paint or alcohol markers. I still love that one. But yeah, getting quite a few coloured in this now, which I am really happy about. So yeah, that is all that I've done in the Spook Sketchbook by Carla Magana. Next up I have Fantasmagoria, and oh, who was this by again? This is by Nadia Mejri, but also known as Clanadia on Instagram. Where is the page I coloured? I coloured this page, which you might have seen a video on of me colouring this page. This was your page of choice this month to see me colour. I had parts which I don't like on it. Like, I wish I had done something different with these planets. I just put like stickles on them, and yeah, I think I should have added more detail. But I love the way she turned out, and I love the black background and the gold. But yeah, it's just those planets and the sort of wing part. Like, I should have added more detail. I really should have. And I just left the moon white. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have. But I'm calling it done. I'm happy with it. But yeah, I think next page in here that I want to colour is him. He's cool. Yeah, but I don't know when that will be. So that was from Fantasmagoria by Clanadia. Oh, I didn't say what I used on that, did I? Sorry. So that was... Is that black Posca pen? Yeah, I have alcohol marker base over what you can see here. And then I've gone on top with pencils. Which pencils was it? I think it was Castle Arts. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking anyway. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you can always watch the video. And then, yeah, stickles, Posca pen, as I said. And yeah, I think that was it. But yeah. So generally pleased with that, but wish I had done it better personally. Yeah. So yeah, again, Fantasmagoria by Clanadia. Next I have a Forest Scale Colouring Book by Apol. Yeah. And I have coloured my first page in here. I hadn't coloured in it yet, but each month I kept saying, I'm going to colour in that one, I'm going to colour in that one, and it never happened. But now I've coloured in it. And I have coloured this page, and I am super duper happy with this one. You may be able to tell I chose quite a soft colour palette for her, like pastel colours and just pale everything. And yeah, so I hold it up and you can see the gold sort of spray that you can see is the Cosmic Shimmer Pearlescent Airless Mister, which I will show you is this. And it sort of, this is what it comes out like. So it's like gold shimmer and you just spritz it on. Like if you want bigger spray, you go closer, further away and whatnot. I just covered her up with the paper before I sprayed it, so none went on her. And then the sparkles that you can see on the stars is the Cosmic Shimmer Glitter Kiss Paste, which is this. Upside down there. Frosty Sparkle Kiss. And yeah, I used that over a stencil which created the star shapes, and then I used a Posca pen to draw around the stars because they're quite difficult to see. And yeah, the background is actually the Schminker watercolour, the super granulated watercolours. And then I have used Castle Arts pencils, a white Posca pen, which I did say, and the border is a black Posca pen, which was really handy because I did make it a bit squiggly around the edge with the watercolour. So that was nice to neaten that up. And yeah, I think that's all. That's all I wrote here anyway. I did write down this page because I was like, I use so many different things, I am never going to remember that. But I love how her hair turned out because it's like a pastel purple, but I've added yellow and then gone over the lines with white, and it looks really nice and soft. But yeah, I'm happy to have a page in here complete now. I will take this off. So that is in Forest Girl colouring book, the first one by Apol. And yeah, these books of hers, they just have so many nice like illustrations. That's basically me, that is. It's a self-portrait of me. Just want to sleep. And next I have my favourite completed page of the month. Like, probably my favourite page of the past couple of months, actually. Definitely my favourite page of the year so far. We've only had January, so that can change. And this is in the Angels and Demons special of Colour in Heaven. And the illustrations in this issue are by Josh Lee, which, as I always say, his illustrations are amazing. I haven't taken the paper out yet. I do apologise for the noise. But yes, I coloured this page. And my gosh, I am super proud. Like, I'm happy with most of my pages that I complete, but there is always that, like, part of me that's like, yeah, I can't do any better than that. And I took my time on this. I used a Sarah Renee Clark colour palette from the Colour Cube, number 2. And yeah, so I only had my 5 coloured pencils, a black and a white, and then my white Posca pen. And yeah, they were the Castle Art Gold pencils. And yeah, I don't think I could have done that page better if I redone it, because I don't know, I'm just really happy with this one. And you may be thinking, oh, she's saying all her pages are great, and I'm proud of them. Like, you can see better ones on the internet. Like, you go to Instagram and everything and you'll see better pages, but for me, I am super proud of this page. Like, for me personally, it feels like a step forward in my colouring ability for colouring men, because let's face it, I haven't coloured many men, and you don't get a whole lot to colour from. And like I said, I think this is only like the 3rd or 4th time that I've actually coloured the body of a man, because they're normally like fully clothed when you do get one, or they're like chibi form. But yeah, so I thought, I'm super proud, I'm going to take my time, and I did, and it took forever, but I'm really, really happy with it. And I'm going to stop waffling on now. So yeah, white Posca pen over the lines of these wings really made them look more like wings. The black lines would have been fine if I did a dark colour wing. But like I said, I was limited to colours in the palette, and I think I did a fairly decent job of picking what colour goes where. And I already have a page I want to colour next in here. Where was it? It's for February, and in February I want to sort of focus on 1, dragons, and 2, sort of a love theme. And these look like they would spread love, don't they? Like, I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that, to be honest. Curabine? Querbean? Yeah, I'm just, yeah, no. Rubine Bine. But yeah, to me they look very Cupid-esque. They're obviously on the angel side, and yeah, I kind of want to colour that one. Whether I get round to it is another matter. I am going to put my paper back in there. But yeah, aren't these pictures cool? Like, every single page is worth colouring. I mean, like, seriously. Like, amazing. So that was Angels and Demons special of Colouring Heaven, featuring Jashlee. Next I have, right, let me think about this, To Draw a Lovely You. Who is this by? Oh my gosh, did I write it in it? I feel like I didn't. No, I didn't. Sorry about this. Let me just... HJ and Drawing. I know they're on Facebook, Instagram, but I always forget. Like, when I was, when I completed this and tagging, like putting hashtags and that in, I was like, what were they called on Instagram again? And luckily it was written in here. Now, with this book, I actually have a damaged book. Quite badly damaged. You may not be able to see it, but right here, it is basically got a dent in it. And I believe it was done before it was even shipped out, because my packaging had absolutely no damage whatsoever. But I decided that I'm not sending it back because it will end up in a bin. And I know I paid for it and it's damaged, but it will end up in a bin. And I don't like to think of anything this beautiful being put in a bin, if I'm honest with you. And yeah, so I have tried to salvage it. Like, I put washi tape over here, but it does go through onto some of the illustrations, which is not ideal. But I thought, I can fix it. I can work around it. But this is the worst one. Like, it is fully still a hole there. Like, you can see this dark bit, that is the indentation. Yeah, that's not my favourite picture in the book, but obviously I don't want it to be damaged. But I found a way, and here on the leaf, on the flower, but they're sort of always in places that aren't fully the main focus. Like, if it was on a girl, I would be worried. And then on this page, it is on here, but right on the end of this leaf. And so I used walk. My tongue today is just twisting all over the place, isn't it? So I used some, let me just get them, they're right here. Couldn't remember what make they were. these. One of these greens, I think it was this one or this one, but I'm not sure. And I used it to base all of these leaves on this wreath, because I knew I wouldn't be able to go over the damaged part with coloured pencils, so I kept the leaves really simple. I did use a black pencil in for the shading, but if I lift this up, the shiny parts are the KJ Designs by Karen watercolours, and then I've used Posca pen, which are the dots in the hair and the eyes and wherever there is a dot basically. And then I used the Brute Vuna Square pencils, which I am enjoying those at the moment as well. I will probably mess up and say that I use Castle Arts somewhere along the lines when I use Brute Vuna Square, because I did use both sets quite a lot, and unfortunately I didn't write on every single page what I used, which is a bit naughty. But yeah, so I'm working on sort of these damaged pages first, I think, but then I get through past, like, that's barely noticeable now, that's just like a dent. And then you get onto this one, that isn't even on the illustration, and I'm glad, because this is my favourite illustration in the whole entire book. Like, I just think that's so pretty, and I love her colour choices. Like, how pretty is that? I don't know whether to follow the colours on that, but with these books I don't always like to do that, because I think that's their artwork and then this is mine in a way. But yeah, this book is so beautiful. And then again here, it's only right on the end of the cherry or berry or whatever it is. And then here you only have a very slight indentation, so I'm finding it workable. Plus I got it from Book Depository, which is no longer so I couldn't send it back even if I wanted to, but I did get it quite a while ago. Like, there was still plenty of time to send it back if I wanted to. But yeah, so I'm just going to try and get these damaged pages sort of out of the way, and now I can be like, I've saved it, I can fully enjoy the rest of the book now. Well, hopefully that's how it'll go. It'll be a while before I complete all those pages though, because they are pages that I want to take my time on. So that was Draw a Lovely You by HJ and Drawing. Amazing book. Right, next I have the Disney 100 Magical Movie Colouring Book. And yeah, I'm not sure who actually, it's Autumn Publishing, but I'm not sure who actually did the illustrations. Does it say? I don't know. I think they were just taken. I don't know. They're Disney, aren't they? Nope. I don't think it says it there. If it did, then I apologise. And the page I did in here was the Frozen 2 page, which I rewatched this movie just like this weekend, and it's so much better than the first Frozen in my opinion. But yeah, I love how this turned out. So much blue used though. I think I used like three or four different types of blue on this background, and all of them are now like a quarter of the size they were from when they started, because it took a lot of sharpening, but a lot of fun. And then on these bubble parts I think it's a waterfall stickles. But yeah, I had to add a bit of sparkle somewhere, let's be honest. But yeah, I love the effect I was able to create. Like, the water looks like it's got some depth to it. You know what I mean. Because in the scene she is sort of under the water a lot and going deeper, and yeah. I do love it. And everything obviously has blue in it. Blue added to it. Like, that's why her hair isn't fully blonde and her skin isn't super pale. It's because I added like a wash with pencils over the whole thing. But I love the colour of her outfit, how that came out. Like, I didn't think I was going to be able to get that close to what it is in the film, but I think I did an okay job with that. And I love the sketchiness. Look, there's the first Frozen. And I love how random the scenes they picked are. They're not like the scenes which you would typically see. Oh, except for that. Oh my gosh, I love that one. That is my favourite scene in that film. I think most people would probably like say that. I mean, there are some other great scenes in that. I also love it when they're in that tavern. I got a dream. But yeah. But like, I don't think you would see that in any other colouring book. But yeah, I do. Mulan, my favourite. But because it's my favourite, it's always like, why don't I colour her? Because I'm scared to ruin those pages. Also, Pocahontas, my next favourite. And those scenes as well. They're like amazing scenes. Like, the colours you need to add to this page. Like, in my mind, I just have this image. And you know how they sort of add the colours of the wind within this film? And it's always like beautiful to see, and so it'll be difficult doing that with actual pencils. But yeah, so I look forward to colouring this book as well. But like I said, it's quite a detailed book and they will take time, as I found out. And this does go up to 2022 films because it's got Lightyear in it, was the last one. So yeah, the Disney magical movie colouring. And then my last book for the month is the Yampuff 100, which amazing book. I do love the illustrations in here. They are chibies. I do love colouring chibies. There's something so simplistic but also challenging about some of them. And I apologise for the glare. It does have a shiny cover. And the first one that I coloured in here was this one. And oh my gosh, how many times did my dice have to roll red? But yes, that was a challenge. Let the dice decide challenge, where I roll the dice to see what colours I use on which parts of the illustration. And it was fine when I had the purple skin, it was fine when I had the pink hair. And then all of her clothes, red, red, red. And yeah, red came out too much, didn't it? But I worked with it. The orange hat does look a little strange because it's not red. But at the same time, if it was red, I don't know what I would have done. But of course, then I chose the colours for all the paints. So I chose red. Because, well, red is already everywhere. And at this time, I was pretty much, let's just do red. Like, I gave up. I gave in to the red. And yeah, the colours in the paint palette are all of the colours that I used on her. So basically, yeah. Brute Funa squares. In this book, every page that I'm about to show you is Brute Funa squares. These are the pages where I was going to be like, I use Castle Arts. But I didn't. Definitely Brute Funa squares. I hope. But no, I am 95% sure that it's Brute Funa squares. But after this red page, I needed to do one in my own colours in this book. So I went right to the beginning and chose to do this milk and cookie page. And oh my gosh, I was so happy after I coloured this with colours of my own choice. So I have given her mint chocolate hair. Again, like I said, it's Brute Funa squares. Posca pen for anything white, and white outlining around the glass of milk. And then on the milk, I have used Mod Podge Extreme Glitter, because who doesn't want a sparkling glass of milk, right? But yeah, I was super happy when she turned out like this. Like, I love the colour of the hair, although on the camera I think it's looking a bit more blue. It is like a proper mint, pastel mint sort of colour that I am looking at. But yeah, on the camera I'm getting blue. Pastel blue. Right. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, because every other colour on the page looks exactly the same. So why not the hair? Although cameras do have a tendency to pick up those, to not pick up those sort of in-between colours. Like, is it blue, is it green? Is it pink or is it purple? Oh, pink and red is the worst. I find my pinks always look red on camera. And my reds always look a bit orange, even though they're not the orange red. Yeah, anyway, moving on. So I am super duper happy with how she turned out, and I just could not put this book down, so I went on and coloured another page, which is the last page of the month that I will show you. And again, absolutely happy with this page. So on this one I did I? Yes, I did an alcohol marker base on this one, where with the other two I was just using pencils. So alcohol marker base. On this background is again the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. Once I get that out, I kind of have trouble putting it back away, if I'm honest with you. Like, it's already there, so why aren't I adding sparkles to this? I'll just add it to that as well. But yeah, and thoroughly enjoyed this page because this is one of my favourite illustrations in the whole book, so glad it turned out the way I wanted. I went over the lines of her hair with the white Posca pen, as I always do if I do blonde hair. I just can't keep black lines in blonde hair, or if it was like a light coloured hair, I have to make sure those black lines are gone, basically. And yeah, so other than that, it's just the Brute Funa square pencils, which they work fabulously in this book. I don't know, I think I might just use them in this book, because obviously they're doing something right. Yeah, I just love the sparkle. Because it is an Amazon book. Look at that. Shampoo. So I will probably continue to colour in this book as well. There are 100 pages, so yeah, I'm not... That just makes me laugh every time. That's just like a happy page now, isn't it? I like the happy pages when you see them and you just get that memory. All I think is red. But it's funny. So yeah, lots of cute illustrations in this book. And you can go as simple or as detailed on these as you want. That's like Alice in Wonderland. I love the food themed ones as well. Like at the front, you've got all like food themes. I love that one. I almost did that one instead of the cookie, but I thought this one needed more detail added than the cookie, so I wanted simple. This one reminds me a bit of that Taylor Swift song. I can't remember what the title is, but it has a line, something on the lines of in a dress like a pastry or something. And I know this is a cake, but when I first heard that song, I laughed at that line so much. I love that one as well. I love it. So yeah, that is Yampuff's 100. And yeah, I am going to thoroughly enjoy colouring in this book. It's so chunky. and fun. You do have at the back little bits that I never use, but some people find them useful, don't they? So that is it for my January completed pages. And this book always stays out because I am trying to complete it, as you know. But yeah, after I complete this one, I'll have to pick a different book. I do have the Two Colour in Heavens on the list, but I don't know whether to add another book that I want to complete or not, because yeah, those Colour in Heavens, I don't seem to be actually going in them every month. I'm sort of stuck on those at the moment, so that's why I think it's because I want to colour this one though. I want this one finished, and I'm trying to do like 3 pages in it a month, which hopefully I stick to that. But yeah, I did get some new supplies and books recently, so that might be something to look forward to. I don't think I'll do a haul. I don't really like doing hauls, because when I get my stuff I tend to just break it out and use it, and sometimes that's like then showing you already used items, and yeah, I'd probably just end up saying, oh, I recently got this, if I show it in a video that I'm actually using it. But yeah, some of the things that I got were, I finished off my collection of Black Widow pencils, finally, and I got some Neocolour 2s, which I'm finding very fun. I got my first ever Hannah Carlson book, which I've always been a bit like, do I like her style? I like seeing other people colour her style, but do I think that I can colour that? So I got one, and so far so good. But yeah, so you'll probably see a finished page in that at the end of February. So until the next video, I hope you are all doing well, take care, and I shall see you when I see you. Goodbye!